Hello and welcome to the second development diary video for Frontier. There have been a lot of changes made since the last development diary, namely the main map has been completely redone from scratch. I have also started work on the first dungeon of the game, which you will see more of later in the video. Before this though, a lot of people were asking about the movement abilities in the game and asking for a jump and sprint mechanic, so I have added these to the game. They are basic for now, but will be improved when a final character mesh is made. The basics of farming are also in the game. The player can walk in any farming area and hit the build button. This will take him to a different menu where he can plant health plants. These will grow with a little animation. If the player tries to harvest the plant too early, which I'll show here, you'll see he only gets the seed back. The player has 5 seeds at the start of the game. However, if you wait till the plant fully grows and then harvest it with the right tool, you not only get the seed back, but you also get an increased number of resources for the yield. If you use the wrong tool or your bare hands, you get the seed and only a single resource back. With this resource, you can go to the alchemy table and turn it currently into a health potion. I will be adding more potions as development continues, but to do this, you place a bottle and any ingredients you want into the top slots and click brew. And if those ingredients match any recipes, that potion will be brewed. Later I'll be adding a recipe book to store recipes you have learned. I have also made improvements to the build system so that players can no longer place structures inside other objects such as this rock. Roofs can now also only be placed if there is at least one supporting wall. I may in future want to change this, I'm not too sure yet. Maybe add some sort of pillar support for roofs. Let me know what you guys think. And now the dungeon. This is where I've spent most of my time working on in the last couple of months, so I'm excited to show you all. Without giving too much of the story away, the player must enter the dungeon to save citizens and structures from the dungeon and return them to the frontier. Such as blacksmith Bjorn here. Once rescued, he will tell you that he still has some of his possessions lost inside the dungeon, and he asks you to retrieve them. This door won't open until you've killed the enemies in the area. Some enemies will hide and try to ambush the player, like these two here. I just want to make it clear the combat is not final in the game and it needs a lot of work to get it feeling right. There are no sort of damage indicators like being knocked back and that kind of thing, and that's all still to do yet. These swinging axes are the first trap in the game. They affect the player and enemies. As you can see, the zombie at the end gets hit by them. They can be daisy chained up like this, or set to just play from the start, swing straight from the start of the game, or triggered when the player approaches them. This room definitely looks like a trap. Now we can use some of our health potions we made earlier. So killing those last two zombies in that last room has opened up another door to the boss room. So that's where I'm heading now. This is definitely my favourite room in the game so far. So I am looking forward to getting some actual enemies and characters in the game. Right now the blacksmith is the only semi-finished character model in the game, and it's also the first character model I've ever actually done. I am working on improving my skills before I try to tackle things like the main character and the other enemies. So now that we've rescued Bjorn's store, let's get out of the dungeon. This pool will regenerate your health when you stand in it. I do plan on having it splashing around and that kind of thing while you're inside, and maybe some sort of particle effect on the player. So if we open the build menu now, you'll see there's a tab saying rescued, which is where we can place structures and that kind of thing that we found in the dungeon. You can see there's no icons yet at the bottom of the screen in the menu. I've still got to do them, and also the blacksmith's hut is not final asset, it's just something I've bashed together using other meshes I'd already made. So usually the blacksmith would now go inside his shop, but he won't do that until we next leave the map and come back in. So I'm just going to run back in the dungeon and come back out again. I do eventually want them to just walk to the hut once you place it, but I haven't done that yet. I might do that, it might cause some bugs, I'm not too sure yet. So I'm going to fast forward this bit just because when I recorded I'm not really sure why I decided to build a little house here. So I'll just speed up through this. And as you can see, Blacksmith Bjorn is now inside his store, and if we talk to him, then he's open for business now because we've rescued his store. He is just the first NPC in the game. There's obviously going to be a lot more. The general gist being the player saves people from the dungeon and rebuilds the town. If you bring people's possessions back to them, they might reward you with items or story sort of plot elements. So that's the end of this diary. Let me know what you think. I haven't done very many of these, so I'm a little bit nervous doing them, to be honest, but I hope you found it all okay. And I'm putting some of my social media sort of links on the screen now if you want to follow the project. So yeah, if you're still watching, thank you for watching all the way through. If you want to see more, you can subscribe to this channel where I'll be posting more of these as time goes by. Thank you. Bye.